Next up on the plaza is a person who's bringing Hispanic culture and awareness here to the city of Wilmington. She needs no introduction. If you don't know her, you've been living under a rock. She's now the vice president of the NR Delaware.
Yes.
India Colon-Diaz.
Hello.
I had to throw the
excited
Diaz in
to
there.
be here. DET. Thank you for throwing the Diaz. You know, the Spanish community loves to add 50 names to the end. By the time we're done, we have like 50 of them. Yes, here. NR Delaware, Nuestras Raíces. I always say NR Delaware because people have a hard time saying Nuestras Raíces and rolling their R's.
Nuestras Raíces.
But she has it.
Oh, you looking for me to say it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No estas raíces.
There you go.
I'm getting used to the Cariati Russo.
And you say that well too,
I mean?
yes. But I'm Italian, so we have to roll the R's
That's
as well.
right.
But I think that pronouncing it, we're practicing and we're supporting the culture by trying our best to pronounce it. But
I love it.
Yes. So India, the Hispanic Festival and Parade. We are so excited about this. So excited, and we're so excited to have you on the show. So before we dive into Hispanic Heritage Month, let's talk a little bit about NR Delaware, because I think that's really important to touch on that.
Oh, wow. So NR Delaware, 1976. Community members, it's an all-volunteer organization. Community members from the West Side neighborhood, from a church called St. Paul's that's still there and thriving to this day. They just got together and said, we really want to start celebrating our roots. So they started doing it on a volunteer basis. Fast forward some years, and Maria Matos from the Latin American Community Center became one of the volunteers and took charge of the Wilmington Hispanic Festival and Parade. Her charter was to make it a nonprofit, National Nonprofit Month. This is great. So that was her legacy to the tradition in the community. She made it a nonprofit. Fast forward 10 years later, Maria Perez, who is the president today of Nuestras Raíces NR Delaware, her charter was to focus on engaging the community, educating the community, and empowering them. So outside of it just being a festival and a parade, which is what it was traditionally known for, she said, so it's a nonprofit. What's my 10-year legacy to the organization? So I joined the board. I volunteered since 2005, joined the board in 2012. So it's been 10 years since Maria Perez took charge, and she took me under her wing and has really mentored me to kind of see and navigate the strategy in making a nonprofit that's traditionally known for a festival and a parade so much more. Now it's more, it is the one event throughout the year that is tradition in the city of Wilmington. It's 46 years in. We're really excited to come back. It's the second time after COVID that we've been able to bring it. We didn't expect what we expected last year and the return of the community in the West End Neighborhood House. So we're 46 years in, and she has definitely hit her mark in 10 years of being the president, and it's something nice to see. Within it's always volunteers, so that's the best part. It's an ever-changing organization.
It's really one of my favorite parades.
It is a beautiful parade.
I think it is so much fun. The community that comes out. I mean, celebrating, yes, Hispanic month, day, but it's not just Hispanics, it's everyone coming together. And I love that. It's all very welcoming community, singing, dancing.
Oh, gosh.
A bunch of dancing in the street.
It's
it's
so much
hard
fun.
to find that in the city of Wilmington. It's something that could have faded away after so many years, but just the fact that you get to go into Calle Cuatro, which is 4th Street in Spanish. You go to Calle Cuatro and all of 4th Street transforms into what traditionally people may not consider, well, let me walk through this neighborhood, let me get into this neighborhood, right? It's an urban community, and it might be a little intimidating, but on that day, it's transformed. The neighborhood comes out, people come from the tri-state area, and it just turns into a big campaign of anti-violence, empowering each other, and just really enjoying each other. And it's a free experience that you only ever see come down 4th Street once a year. So that's huge for me, to see over 3,000 people just kind of start gathering in a neighborhood that they don't traditionally walk through. That draws in a crowd. The businesses there, and I'm big on economic development, the businesses in that community just thrive. And that's huge for us, to make sure that they're constantly being supported, and we welcome it.
What is the morning like, or the days leading up to it in a Hispanic household, like when they're ready for that? Because like, you know what I mean?
She's like, let me tell you something. So it's a 2-part day. So we have the Wilmington Hispanic Festival and Parade. It's a 2-part day. So we have Maria Perez and I and Will Resto and our executive board, we oversee the entire operations from start to finish. The first part is the parade. That is chaired by Delcy Morales and co-chaired by Jesse. They're volunteer members of the organizations and board members. The festival side this year, in partnership with Maxima 104.1, they're overseeing and they're chairing the festival side, bringing the concert, the food, and all of that. So it's a two-part day. Our day starts at 6 a.m. and we are bringing in load in, load out, and everything else. But the best part of it is because it's volunteer, it's not just like our, 15 individuals. This is 50 to 100 volunteers on 2 different folds come together from every organization you can imagine. And it's really exciting to see. Our outreach team does outreach a month in advance. They walk through the neighborhoods, they gave out flyers. On the flyer, they tell the community, make sure you do a big cleanup on that Friday prior to the parade. And they encourage them to decorate their houses, their cars. So that's a big campaign day. Like you just wake up that morning, you drive through the neighborhood, anywhere in the city of Wilmington, you're gonna see cars honking their horn, with flags from every country, throughout. And it is a beautiful experience because the entire neighborhood decorates their house, their front property, and they become part of it. So it's one time a year that I love to see the community get together. And
that's what I was going to ask next, is like preparation for it. And now what can, like, if someone never went, what can they expect, their expectation?
So one of the things that you can expect is, and I think most of the people think that these are just going to be cars coming down in a parade. You find such a diverse, so nonprofit organizations from our state jump into this parade to provide resources, because one of our charters and our legacy is to educate and empower the community. So our parade has not just turned into a showcase of the folkloric, the richness of what Hispanic culture means. It's turned into a direct resources. So now organizations reach out to us on that day so that they give out whatever materials, resources. Nerd It Now, because I know they were here recently. He was like, how can I, because I haven't been able to target the Hispanic kids in the Hispanic community. We welcome Nerd It Now to come in, give them those tokens so that they can register, get those computers. Wilmington Public Library is partnering up with us in something that, and I hope I'm not speaking out of turn when they see this, but we're trying to do this big campaign that is launched at the parade where it's books and bodegas. So the corner stores, it's like the kids don't go to the library, right? Or they don't have the resource to, how can we get the books and literacy out to them? So that day, our intent is that our Wilmington Public Library is advocated for, they know it, they want to learn it, and they're giving out these great things, and they're partnering up with the local businesses, calling it Books and Bodegas, and I'm putting out into universe.
I like that. I like that.
So that's the difference. Like, you're not just going to hear the music and taste the food, but you're going to see the empowerment of resources to the community that they don't normally feel comfortable getting to.
This is huge.
Yeah.
This is so, it's so neat to see how the parade has evolved over the years. My first time participating in the parade, and I'm 100% Italian, and I have participated in the parade a couple of times.
Well, so it's pass for Hispanic.
I could. I could.
Latina.
I was in the AI marching band, AI High School's marching band, and they are the legacy marching band for the parade.
Marching band of our parade. They've been there since day one.
Yes,
since
this
parade has been there.
It was so much fun from that moment. And then when I became Miss Delaware USA, I was able to participate, and it's just always such a wonderful time. But I hope for good weather. So that leads me to this. Rain or shine, will the parade go on?
So it is a rain or shine event. See, in our Hispanic culture, we acknowledge that we're indigenous communities. So that is a blessing for us. If it rains, it rains. We had one year that we had full-blown parade. The hurricane was coming through, days to the hurricane hitting Wilmington, Delaware. And the police department, everybody was like, you guys are canceling, right? I said, absolutely not.
Nope.
But I tell you what, that was one of the biggest parades we had and turnouts, and it was post-Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico. So it was more than just about coming down and dancing and music. It was about a legacy of sticking to our roots, which is what raíces mean. Nuestras raíces means our roots. So, and that's founded in that. So it all kind of just mixes in. We kind of stick with it.
That's amazing. So there will be participating food vendors at the parade, so you'll be able to experience.
Yeah, so we have
delicious food.
We have Puerto Rican food, Dominican food. One of our legacy sponsors from our last 10 years, the Dominican Cafe, which is right in the heart of where this happens.
She's been there forever.
She has been one of our legacy sponsors. When we did a call to action 10 years ago, one of the biggest things we had a hard time with, our organization had a hard hit. So one of our charters was to get our organization not just to be known as a festival, but so much more. We did a call to action, and there was about 10 community people that stepped forward, and they have been with us for these 10 years consecutive. Rebecca at the Dominican Cafe, Noel Auto Sounds, Luis Prado. These individuals, if it weren't for these legacies, and I say Tom Carper, he is a U.S. Senator, but Tom Carper as an individual responder of our call to action, Chris Coons, Bethany Hall, like these individuals, City of Wilmington, these are legacies. Whether we would have never been able to continue it without them. So I'm just grateful. The festival side is gonna have 30, 40 vendors, headliners coming in. It's really exciting. So you could get the parade side where it's a little bit more of that neighborhood, open, free community event. And then you could see the big concert headliners right after at the Tubman Garrett Park, at the riverfront, that immediately follows, and it runs till 10 p.m. It's just gonna be a big day to learn to roll your tongues and learn some salsa.
Yes. Look, do me a favor. Can you look at the community camera? Go ahead and do your invite. You can do one in English.
Yes.
I'll do them both.
Okay.
And if I stumble, I apologize.
No, don't worry about it. Better you do it than me.
Okay, so my name is India Colon-Diaz. I'm the Vice President of Nuestras Raíces. I'm here on behalf of an organization that's all nonprofit and all volunteer. We are welcoming you to the Hispanic Heritage Month that's going to be kicking off September 11th with the Wilmington Hispanic Festival and Parade. It starts at 12 o'clock with the kickoff, 1 o'clock parade. Immediately follows at 2 o'clock. Right down at the Tubman Garrett Riverfront Park, and it's going to be a great day. Food, vendors, culture, education. What more can you ask for? You want me to do that in Spanish?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to... Hola, me llamo India Colon-Diaz. Yo soy parte de Nuestras Raíces Delaware. Le estamos invitando a ustedes el 11 de septiembre a las 12 del mediodía para empezar la celebración del mes de la hispanidad. Vamos a estar con el desfile a la 1 de la tarde y después con el Festival Hispano con muchos vendedores, comida y mucho más. Lo invitamos al Riverfront Tubman Garrett Park. Estén ahí y queremos verlos bailando, disfrutando y manifestando lo que es la cultura hispana.
Gracias.
Right.
De nada.
That's all I got for you.
That's right.
I love it. India, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
What's up, everyone? It's your main man, Big Ob, the talk of the town, Mr. DETVCH.com, and I'm here with my wonderful and amazing co-host,
Vincenza.
We just stopped by to tell you to be sure, if you want any information on what's going on in Wilmington and to meet some dynamic people doing some amazing and great things, be sure to watch us live on Good Morning Wilmington on Mondays and Wednesdays at 10 p.m.
Oh, Ivan, 10 a.m.
Which he said, 10 a.m.
Listen to me. That's why he has me here. But yes, tune in live, 10 a.m. Monday and Wednesday on Good Morning Wilmington.
DETVCH.com.